Hello, everybody. I wanted to kind of go over the modified portfolio plan now that Alice is a little bit later. We do have a set date. She is definitely going to come on Wednesday, no matter whether we like it or not. She's going to get induced on that day. So I have the schedule all set in stone, and you can use this document over the next 2 weeks to be able to get to where you need to be when I return. And like before, what I want you to do is I want you to keep track of the relevant notes, whether it was my filled-in notes or whether it's your own notes that you make for your portfolio. So you're going to be doing a little bit more independent study on some of the sections. And I also want you to be on track of the IP according to the IP schedule. So I'm going to walk you through the agenda day by day of what to expect. So January 17th, tomorrow, I may be in if Alice is not here during B2 and B3. So I'll be going over that Chapter 12 crash course of surface areas and volumes. Now, looking back on that, that's a pretty meaty section. So if you are not finished with surface area, you'll finish surface area and the volume part for the next class. I'm just going to give you a surface area worksheet for tomorrow night to work on. I'm speaking to you on a Monday today, Martin Luther King Day. So we're going to be computing surface areas and volumes of 3D shapes. Then on the 18th and the 19th, you're going to do a mini lesson on ratios, areas, and volumes. And I'm also going to give you some study guide work time. So I have those copies out for Mrs. Crowder to give you. There is a video of me walking through the mini lesson on ratios, areas, and volumes that I have posted. So your homework will be to do Mastery Assessment 7 Study Guide. And if you need some help, here's what you can do. You can come to Mrs. Stahl's office hours on Wednesday and Thursday afternoon to help prepare you for the mastery assessment, or you can screenshot me some questions and email. And what I will do if I have a little bit of time in the hospital waiting room is make a video where I'm going over the study guide and some of the key points of the study guide before you take the mastery assessment. On the Friday, Monday, you're going to take Mastery Assessment 7, and I'll come in at some point and get those graded when I have some time on Alice's first few days. And you're going to be having some time to answer some questions in class on the study guide. So I told Mrs. Crowder that you will go through the key of the study guide. You guys can talk about the questions with each other, and then we're going to give you that Mastery Assessment 7. And your IP for that night is going to be to do the volume worksheet. The following week, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started with Chapter 7. So you're going to take on the January 24th and 25th, you're going to be taking notes over 7.1, which is isometries. And then you're going to be doing notes over section 7.2, which is more in depth on reflections. So I expect that you're going to be able to visually identify them, and the math won't be too bad. So you'll get a lot of practice in your notebooks, being able to record those key definitions and examples on the graphs too. And you may want to bring some graph paper with you that week, because that will make things a little bit easier for you. And of course, you will submit that with your portfolio. Like I said before, here's some things that I like to see in the portfolio. So I want you, before you do the IP, to document all the work and all the research that you have done. And I'm going to give you a grade based off of that work. And how I'm going to give you a grade is based off of this rubric. So I'm expecting reports from Mrs. Crowder to see that you are on task and helpful. So if you are demonstrating thorough work, that's something that's going to help you get the maximum grade. And then also leadership too. So being able to help other students out in the class. So Mrs. Crowder has already identified some students who have been able to do that very well. Also, I'm going to look at the quality of your note-taking. So what I want to see at the minimum is a mix of definitions and motivating formulas. So any definition in your book should be copied. And I should also see worked out example problems. But what I would like to see is that higher level of detail, being creative about connecting the concepts together, or you can write questions and observations that you have on the side. And then I'll have Mrs. Crowder check the independent practice completion each class. So she'll come around and do the homework check like what we usually do. Like I said before, please feel free to email me if you have any questions. And I will be excited to see you upon my return, which will be that next class on Monday right at the end of this schedule. I do reserve the right to pop in at any time if I'm ever out on an errand, and I may see how those sub-plans are going. So have a very productive 2 weeks, and I look forward to showing you a picture of Alice. Have a great day.